So we will make a start. Mhm. Hope everybody is well. I hope you're staying nice and warm, snuggled up. So if you haven't already, then just start to settle yourself into the position that you'd like to be in for this practice. Most common position is lay down. For most people, it is the comfortable position, but if it's not for you, you can absolutely sit, but you might want to sit kind of a little bit propped up by some cushions or bolsters. You could lie on your back. Equally, you could lie on your side. And once you get into the position that you feel is not only just comfy, but it really kind of feels like nourishing. And yeah, I want to be here for the next 25 minutes. An invitation to just close down the eyes. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose and maybe even just sigh or blow it out of the mouth. And then notice if there is anything at all that you would like to adjust. That strand of hair, that twisted sock, anything at all to make you feel that little bit more comfortable. So if there's any distraction, as best we can, we try and eliminate it. Dependent on where you are, there might be distractions that you can't control. So there might be the weather outside, the noise of the weather. There might be noise from other people around, neighbors. But we just acknowledge that that just exists around us. And Yoga Nidra works with your own mind. So each person will have their own unique experience, which I think is part of the magic of Yoga Nidra. And if at any point you want to just come out of your Nidra before it ends, you might slowly blink the eyes open. You might just come to your breath and just notice the inhale and the exhale. You might even imagine that you are almost kind of surrounded by this orb or this bright light of protection. So that could be a golden glow, or it could be any color that for you symbolizes a sense of safety and security. And there will be short moments of silence in our practice. That's just to allow the words to settle, for the practice to settle and integrate. But I'll, of course, still be holding the space. So just start to become aware of your breath, your natural breath. Just notice the breath in. Perhaps that's in through the nose, and the breath out. And maybe that's out through the nose or out through a gap in the lips. And then with not too much effort, as you start to settle into rest, maybe you could just gently expand by deepening or lengthening the inhale and the exhale, or it might just be the exhale that becomes longer. And it almost feels like a relief to breathe out and just acknowledge that we're allowing ourselves to rest. We are, after all, in winter, the season of rest. And in a moment, I'll count from 10 to 0. There's nothing that you need to do. Just be aware of the sound of my voice and allow your body to continue just to drift into this restful realm. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Welcome to this practice of Yoga Nidra, where we allow the physical body just to release and to rest. And our mind is in a state between awake and sleep. You might find that you do drift off into sleep. That is completely normal. If you wake back up, don't worry, just notice maybe the silence or maybe the sound of my voice and rejoin the practice. And there's nothing that you need to do with your physical body. If you do feel uncomfortable at any point, then of course feel free to move, but just acknowledge that first. So just acknowledge I'm going to gently and carefully move my body. You might notice during the practice that you have random movements that just occur in the body. You might notice there are areas that become warmer or cooler, or there's different sensations or tones. This is all just part of the experience. And winter is not necessarily a time for setting resolution or intention as such. But Yoga Nidra does offer us the option, if we wish, to just work with something we call Sankalpa. And this might be a mantra or an intention for you. It might be a simple word. The word could be rest. It might be an acknowledgement. I am practicing rest through Yoga Nidra. Or there may be something else that you are inviting into your winter world. It's always positive, and we always state it confidently. So just take a moment with the mind. There may be something there already, something may come, or if not, just allow your awareness to settle on your breath. If there is something there, just whispering it 3 times in your mind. And as you exhale, It's like we entrust that to the universe or a greater source of our choosing. Momentarily, just return back to your natural breath, that awareness of the body breathing. And then we'll begin our journey around the body. So there's no need to move the physical body unless you really feel called to. We just almost take this little light of awareness that exists in the mind and we travel that around the body. For the sake of it being winter, we're just going to offer our body rest. So at each part or area, or perhaps at parts or areas that you feel need it a little bit more, maybe you just know it, or maybe you felt it in your body, you might just whisper in the mind, rest, when we touch on them. And our practice begins at the space between the brows. And maybe that's where your light of awareness shines from, this space between the brows, the mind's eye. To the right temple and the left temple, the right eyebrow and the left eyebrow, the right eye, the left eye, and the space behind the eyes, whether that is darkness or whether there is some kind of visual or light or pattern. The right ear, the left ear, the right cheek and the left cheek, the upper lip, the lower lip, the jawline, the chin, and now the whole of the face. So all of the features of the face just being allowed to soften and rest. The whole of the face. Our journey continues down into the throat. Maybe we swallow there. And over to the right collarbone, the right shoulder, and into the right armpit. The right upper arm, elbow, lower arm, the right wrist, the back of the right hand, the palm of the right hand, the right hand thumb, first, second, third, and fourth finger. The whole of that right arm, wherever it's placed, just resting. Journey back to the throat space, and maybe again you swallow. And travel over to the left collarbone, the left shoulder, armpit, upper arm, left elbow, lower arm, left wrist, back of the left hand, palm of the left hand, the left thumb, first, second, third, and fourth finger. The whole of that left arm, just exactly as it is in this practice of Yoga Nidra. And can you bring an awareness to both of the arms? Maybe they're resting by your side, on the body, or somewhere else entirely, but they're both just resting. Bring an awareness to the back of the head, the back of your head. And there's a comfortable heaviness to the head as we just let that rest too. Follow the journey down the back of the head into the back of the neck, to the right shoulder blade, the left shoulder blade, and the space that exists between the shoulder blades. Just allow your next inhale to come naturally. And as you exhale, journey down the spine slowly to the very lowest part of your spine that you can feel or you can imagine exists. And then as your natural inhale rolls in, journey back up the spine into the back of the neck, maybe even to caress the back of the head. And the exhale guides you back down. It's almost like a spinal massage with the breath and the mind. Just take that a few more times with your breath. And arrive with an exhale at the low spine. Over to the right glute, the right thigh, kneecap and the back of the knee, the right lower leg, ankles, heel, top of the right foot, sole of the right foot, the right big toe, second, third, fourth, fifth toe. The whole of that right leg, the glute down the back of the leg, the sides and the front of the leg, just resting exactly as it is. The whole of that right leg. Awareness again to the low spine and over to the left glute. Down into the left thigh, the left kneecap and the back of the knee, the left lower leg, ankles, top of the left foot, heel and sole of the left foot, and the left big toe. Second, third, fourth, and fifth toe. And the whole of that left leg. And bringing in awareness then, if you can, to both of the legs, whether they're both extended, knees bent, however they're placed. A comfortable heaviness that just allows them to rest. Bringing awareness back to the throat space. As we travel just gently down the front of the body acknowledging the right rib cage, the left rib cage, the belly button, the rise and fall of the belly as we breathe, the right hip and the left hip, and the groin. Bring awareness back to the back of the head and down the body into the back right ribs and the back left ribs, all the way down to the tailbone. The whole of the front of the body as you see or feel it. The back of the body as you see or feel it. The sides of the body. The head and the face. The arms and the hands. The legs and the feet. And can you find an awareness, perhaps, perhaps not, of the whole of your physical body? And again, that comfortable heaviness of just allowing the whole of your physical body to settle into rest and into this practice of Yoga Nidra. We're going to pause here just in a moment of silence. And you might be with the physical body as it softens. You might journey back to your awareness of the breath. Nothing to do, nowhere else to be. And let's journey then back to our sankalpa or our intention or mantra. Just a word if we had one, or a sentence. If there's nothing there, that is fine. We'll just continue to witness the body or the breath. If there's something there, just whispering it 3 times in the mind. And as we exhale, just allow it to be released. And in a moment, I'll count from 10 to 0 once more. And this is to gently draw you out of your Nidra practice. There's no need to move, instantly do or be anything. You might just start to become aware of the space that you're in, of any other sounds you can hear, any sensations you're witnessing. And at the end of the count, I'll state this practice of Yoga Nidra is complete. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. This practice of Yoga Nidra is complete. So take a nice deep breath in and out. And if you have the option to, maybe just stay here and rest for a few more minutes. So often we rush from one thing to the next, and we really want to just let things settle. And when you do decide to just bring yourself fully out of the space, blink the eyes open. You might gently roll to the side if that's safe and comfortable to do. Push yourself up to a seat. Pause there. Just take a little moment to reground and breathe. So, thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that practice. Take good care.